Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, good morning.
Welcome back to Real Talk with SLR.
How are you guys doing today?
Well, guys, we had a fantastic weekend this weekend. Mr. Boombastic over here was putting in the work.
My body is sore like no tomorrow. And I'm about to make it even more sore.
Well, that's all right. You know, it's just like when you start hitting the gym again, right? You got to work out those muscles to build up that muscle memory again. And I think that this time next week you won't be nearly as sore. And me either. I'm pretty sore too, man. We were both really putting it in this weekend. We've got a lot of things set up and ready for us to move on to concrete. Although we are not fully ready for concrete yet. We're going to still do one more thing, which is the front area before we do the big concrete day. Because when we do mix concrete, we're going to be filling these pillars. We're going to be filling the footers for the kids' playhouse and the footers for the front area too. So we've got a lot of concrete to do, but we've got most of it about ready to go. This weekend, Gary, I'm actually going to be showing you guys on a video today on SimpleLifeReclaimed, so notifications on, stay tuned for that. But Gary really put in a lot of hard work over down by the kids' playhouse area, and that, I am happy to report, is ready. It's ready to go. But it was a lot of work. Gary really had to, and I mean, I did too. I was digging out there too, but you were doing more of the squatting and the getting up and the squatting and the getting up. And I think that's underestimated on how much of a toll that will just take on your body. You know, even without lifting hundreds of pounds or whatever.
My glutes are definitely feeling it. But, no, it was a lot. And I'm interested to see how close I got with the measurements and everything. I mean, I went measurement crazy like no tomorrow, and being on that hill, it was like I'm hoping I'm dead center on everything, but if I'm off by like a little bit here or there, it's not going to be the end all, you know.
Well, there's enough space to where it's not going to hurt anything if it's an inch this way, because we were trying to get out there with the plumb bobber and trying to figure it out, because where the playhouse is, it's on a massive slope. It's very deceiving on video how angled that area is, but it's very angled. So you know, at the bottom of the footers are going to be one height, and then the top is going to be at another. So that changes things when you're trying to level each kind of area out. So that way, when you put the post in there, everything's going to be all good to go, and trying to get the right measurements. And yeah, Gary really had to work his brains and his body up and down, up and down, up and down. But by the end of the day, by the end of sunset, that one day that we were working, we worked all day from day to sun, or sun up, sundown. And by the end of it, it was in. And it says, I mean, tested as level and good to go as we possibly can get it. And I mean, I'm good with it. It's going to have to be good enough. It's the kids' playhouse. It's not.
Well, it's good. It's good enough. I mean, it's there. You know, it's ready for the concrete. But I did the math for that concrete, and we still need like 50 bags.
More than what we already have. Now, when we went on our supply run recently, we got 12 bags of concrete. And
I knew I was going to need more, but I was like, well, this will get us to where we should be all right. And I did the concrete math for the pillars, and it's going to be right about like 13.
Yeah, so we probably have enough bags to do just the pillars up here if we wanted to mix and pour that. But now what we're kind of thinking, and why we haven't started that yet, is we're thinking we're just going to do one big concrete day where I'll just be mixing concrete all freaking day, and Gary will be pouring concrete all freaking day. It's going to suck, but it'll be nice to get it done, and then everything will kind of be curing at once, and it'll be over with. So all that being said, yes, the pillars out here are ready. Well, essentially, we still want to build the end caps for it, which that'll not take us too long. But essentially, though, besides the caps, we're about ready. And the playhouse area is ready. So now we got to go to the front of the cabin, and we have to get those footers and stuff ready. So then we can do our big concrete day. So that's what we're going to be kind of working on.
We got rebar to put in everywhere. But rebar shouldn't take too long. It's a lot of rebar for down over there. It's the same thing over here. We're gonna want to get the rebar done when we get these caps done. Might as well just get it all done at the same time. But it shouldn't take too long. It shouldn't be too crazy. I'm not gonna go all nuts like how we did with our house footings,
Yeah.
just because I knew how much weight was going to be put on there, you know.
Hey, speaking of the house footings, that brings circle around. So the last video that we put out on Simple Life, thank you guys so much for watching and loving all the support. Really appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, thank you.
There was some major, like the biggest major concern for that video was, hey, I don't see any footings underneath the concrete slab right there. What are you guys doing? It's only a 4-inch slab. What the heck's going on here? So, on the one hand, yes, you're right, but on the other hand, no, you're not right.
Correct.
So, yes, you are right that there is not an actual footing underneath this part of the slab where it goes down another 2 feet like how we did for the entire basement. You are right.
Correct.
There is not a footing right here where we put these blocks. But you're wrong with it being a 4-inch slab because it's much thicker than 4 inches. So
yes. So, I mean, when we did this slab area, this was the whole forethought of everything beforehand and everything. Before we extended this out like this, we actually were just going to go to the pillar area. And while we were having Ronnie do everything and dig out the footings, he actually dug this out. And then I was like, you know what? Let's extend it out.
Let's give it a bib, you know.
Give, 6 feet or something like that. And then we'll just, leave those there because I'm going to do pillars and then I'll have an exposed 6. And if I absolutely want to fully extend, then I'm fine. So there is quite a bit of concrete right there. It isn't 2 feet. It's right around like 8 inches.
Yeah, maybe even 10, maybe 8 to 10.
No.
The video where we were doing this concrete, you guys you can see it, but a lot of that footage was done from the sky, the drone, and it's like I said, even with us being over at the kids' playhouse area where that's a hill and it's a big steep hill, and you guys can't really actually see it until we put something up to it.
It's so hard to see.
Then you can get the depth perception.
It's so hard to see that depth perception on camera. But it is a lot deeper right there. Plus, this whole slab isn't just 4 inches. It is like closer to about 5 to 6 inches, right around there for this whole whole part of the slab.
Yeah,
and then right here on the end, that's where it's down a foot. It's a foot all the way around.
Yeah.
So I mean,
on the edge.
On the edge.
Yeah.
So it's good. I mean, and there's rebar throughout everything. And a lot of people are like, aren't you worried about the concrete cracking? No, concrete is going to crack. No matter what, concrete cracks. Whether it's, the only way that you can't see the crack is if you do a post-tension concrete, which those are scary. Those are super scary. I don't know if anybody has seen any concrete that's been like that, but it's a cable that they put inside it, and they tighten that cable. And doing that, it pulls the tension, and it's got so much PSI being pulled together that way. But if you go to cut anything or drill a hole like what I just did into it, and you hit one of those things, talk about a 7/8 inch cable exploding on you at full tension.
Oh, and you know what? When Gary was drilling, you can actually even see, I guess this would probably be the best example. And so that way your guys' mind can be rest at ease, that we're not just, talking baloney. But when Gary was drilling the holes to put the rebar in and he was bringing the drill back up, there was no dirt. It was all concrete dust. So Gary drilled as far as he could drill in with that drill to put the rebar into the ground. And when the drill was returned up from the dirt, there was no dirt. It was all concrete. So we haven't even hit the dirt. The rebar, the rebar is just in concrete.
I drilled in about that deep. And I didn't even hit any dirt. So I'm just saying, and then people were also saying that I should have blew out the dust and epoxied them and everything else, which, yes, if I drilled a bigger hole, but I'm not going and buying a special drill bit when I can just smack it in. And the grit and the dirt or the concrete dust actually will bind and grab and make that bond even tighter.
Now, I know you might be surprised because Gary's Mr. Overkill Bill over here, and generally we do go overkill, but on some things it's not necessary, and that's one of those things where we were like, it's not necessary. No. It's going to be good. A lot of the weight from this patio and this deck that we're going to be building is actually going to be supported by the house.
Correct.
So it's one of those things, guys.
the house is going to support a good portion of it. This is going to support a good portion of it. And not only that, but the concrete is rated at, you know, per square foot.
And didn't you put like 3,500 PSI?
No, PSI. It's pounds per square inch, I want to say.
I was going to say, didn't you put like a really high PSI concrete in this anyway?
I did.
Yeah, so I think we're good, guys. I think we're going to be good.
It's 30. I think we did a 3,500 PSI concrete.
I think we did too. I can't really remember. It was you. I think
it's either 35. That might have been just for the footings, and here being 3. But either way,
I'd have to go back and look at our videos.
3,000 per square inch, plus the blocks are a foot around. That adds quite a bit of strength.
Yeah. I am not concerned.
I'm not concerned about it.
I'm not concerned one bit. I think that it's going to be fantastic. I am ready to get on our concrete day, though. We still have, like we were saying, we still got things we have to prepare for it. But man, it feels good to be back into the swing of building the cabin. And I'm happy that we took the summer off with the kids and made a lot of memories. And it's not like we took the summer off.
Yeah.
I mean, look at everything that we've done. We've done so much this summer. Yeah. We actually have a working homestead. We're getting produce from our garden. We're getting meat from our meat animals. Yeah. It's actually a working homestead at this point. So I don't know. I'm happy that we're doing everything the way that we're doing it. I'm
super happy about it. I mean, it's all coming together. Once all this concrete is done, it's all wood from there. Yep. I'm so happy about that.
I know. That's another reason why Gary and I are kind of like, let's just do one concrete day, rip the Band-Aid off, get it over with, because then we can move on, right? And that's kind of where we're at. So Gary is going to have to be making a trip to the store because we only picked up 12 concrete bags, which is plenty to do the pillars. But like we said, we want to do everything kind of at once. The problem with that is that there's all that sand in the back of Biggie still. So I'm actually going to give Gary a camera and let Gary do the Gary show today and work with some of that sand. And I think he might go to the store or whatever. I'm not sure what he's got planned.
That's what I've got in my mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the sand and then go to the store.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead to the store and go get that all taken care of because, I mean, it's supposed to rain too this week.
Yeah, it is.
And I'd rather I want to get that concrete and just get it going because...
Yeah.
So.
And I think the rain is going to come Thursday. So we have some time before, rain. So as long as we can get the concrete in the cells and in where it needs to go by Wednesday this week, we should be good, man. We should be sitting at a perfect spot.
I might mess around with the rebar.
Do what you got to do. I'm going to give Gary...
Do the caps. Actually, I might. I'm just trying to think because, I mean, I need to empty out that. Definitely. But I want to try to get as much done as possible to where all it is they can load a pallet in the back of Biggie.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Because that's not too bad. I can always send you to town.
To go pick up,
finishing up little things. And then can drop a pallet in the back.
Well, this morning, the reason why I'm going to let Gary do his thing is because this morning I do have some matrix stuff that I have to finish off. I have to get some things together. Also, we're working with a couple of brands coming up, so I have to get back in there and respond to emails. I have to do all the business side of stuff, which is not always very entertaining or very fun, but it is a very integral and important step to our whole journey, which keeps us sustained, right? So I have to get in there and I got to do some of that stuff. While I'm doing that, it's going to be divide and conquer. I'll handle this, and Gary will do the Gary show and get me some more footage for y'all, and we'll meet back in the middle. And, if you need me, though, you can always come in and say, Mel, come give me a hand, and I'll break away, and I'll make you lunch, and, do my thing.
Oh, yeah. But I know I've got quite a bit to do. Yeah. The more I'm looking at the rebar, the more I'm like, I don't know if we're going to be able to do that in just one day.
You might want to start cutting.
That's where I'm like, I might want to get a lot of that stuff going.
Yeah. And good thing. So we actually had a very productive weekend. We not only got all of that done, but we got another something done, which I don't want to spill too many beans because we have two videos in the can, so to speak. I'm going to put one out for you guys today, and then you guys will get another one tomorrow. And that's basically what we did this weekend. But long story short, we were cutting some wood And we may have cut way too much wood because the calculations were a little off, but it's okay because all of that wood that was cut, I think we're going to be able to use it for the caps for over here for the pillars.
I was getting delirious.
Yeah, we were. I mean, it's been.
I was getting
long
delirious
days.
after long shoveling and using that auger and everything else, and
you were all vibrated. Your brain was rattled around.
In the world I thought it was 6 times 8 when it was, 6 times 6, not 8.
Yeah. So we might have made a few too many cuts, which is fine though, because it was our scrap board that we were using for form boards. So it was scrap board. Some of them were a little warped and wonky anyway. And the cuts that we cut them to are big enough that we can still use
them for these pillars
caps.
and the caps and everything. So it's not going to go to waste.
Yeah.
And thankfully I'm using like the crappy wood.
That's what I said. Yeah, like our scrap.
Well, out of the pallet, you always get those pieces of wood that are all wonky and just like, what in the world? And it's like, whatever, I can use that for concrete.
Yeah.
If that gets concrete all over and it's all screwed up anyway,
we'll burn it later.
Whatever. Like, I don't.
Yeah. Make a nesting box out of it. The birds are just going to poop on it anyway. Stuff like that you can use it for. But yeah, we got a very busy day today, friends. I hope that answers one of your guys' questions. That was the big one that was left on our last video in regards to this concrete slab and what we're going to do and all that. We're not worried about it. I hope that you guys aren't worried about it. I hope it relieves some of your guys' stress and anxiety, because that was a heavy question that we got.
It was over and over and over again.
A lot.
So,
a lot.
But trust me, I thought about this and it was planned out. So I'm just saying. Just
trust him, because I trust him. And it's always 100% appreciated for you to bring up a different point of view and a suggestion and or a question. I'm not downing any of y'all, not at all. We both really appreciate the feedback that you guys have given us. But I'm just trying to relieve some of y'all's stress, because I could tell that some of you guys were really stressed out.
Yeah.
And I don't want you guys to be. I want you guys to enjoy the journey with us. Because we're not stressed.
You could see them, though, when they were pouring the concrete in here, and then you see them walking in it to pull the rebar up.
Yeah, and it's like way past their ankles. It's like up to like their calf.
It's like this far away from entering into their boot.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, okay. Yeah, that's definitely deeper right there than what it looks like. But we got to get to work.
Yes, we do. We have to get working on this, friends. Like I was saying earlier, I will have a video out on Simple Life Reclaimed for you guys today. So I hope that you guys can stay tuned for that. Notifications on. I can't really say when it's going to be uploaded, but hopefully it'll be uploaded in a timely fashion. It won't be too late this evening.
Yep.
Also, we'll have a new episode here on Real Talk with SLR tomorrow, and probably another video on Simple Life tomorrow too. I'm going to try to keep putting out the content for you guys, since I know y'all missed us over our kind of summer break where we were putting out not as much content. I'm trying to beef it up for you guys. So hopefully you guys stick to us and appreciate all that hard work, but we are going to get rolling. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching today's episode of Real Talk with SLR. And as usual, friends, until the next one, we love y'all and we hope you have a good one.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye, you guys.
Later.